How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Down to Earth with Kristian Harloff. Last couple of hours have been intense, to say the least. So if you watched yesterday's video, and I know there was a big echo on the video, I don't know what the hell happened. There was a big mess up on it. My apologies. Hopefully this one's a lot better, and we will get to it because there's a lot to talk about. The hearing that looks like it's going to happen on November 13th, we kept talking about it. We continue to keep talking about how important it is to have firsthand witnesses, people who can really bring to light these reverse engineering programs. Maybe the whistleblower that was talking to Michael Schellenberger about the Immaculate Constellation program, right? Well, check this tweet out. This is not a definite and an only, but check this tweet out. Now, this is from the Spaced Out Radio official account. It says, Lue Elizondo will testify in the congressional hearing with Christopher Mellon and Tim Gallaudet on November 13th. So those are three witnesses. Are those the only witnesses? If those are three witnesses, including other ones that are going to blow the roof off the place, then go for it. You need all of them. If they're the only three, does nothing. Does nothing. It is just a repeat. There's two things that happen. It's a repeat of what happened last year, which again, last year was good because it was there's a hearing about UFOs, and it brought to the light, and it was able to show what David Grush knew and had these two pilots. It was very informative. It was very important. But if you do this again, just these three guys, you're just repeating the same thing. Oh, there was things under the water. Do we have proof? Can't show you that here. Oh, Lue Elizondo, there's these programs about remote viewing. You wrote this, you wrote that. Can you have any proof? Not that I can talk about publicly. Oh, okay. Christopher Mellon, you say that you have this, this, and this. Harry Reid told you this. Any proof on that? Yeah, but nothing I can tell you here. That's going to be the wet fart that we've been talking about. The hearing that does nothing. Now, the positive side of that is if there are other witnesses that do some big work there, right? That show pictures, do these other things, talk about the program, whatever that might be, included with these guys saying this, 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 and this, and here's all this information, plus you got this person here who's got actual information, then it's going to be monumental. The other problem with not so much Tim Gallaudet, because he's involved with the Saul Foundation and he's out there talking a lot, but he's not in the forefront the way that like Mellon and Lue Elizondo are. But the problem with Lue Elizondo and Christopher Mellon, if those are the only ones that are going to be testifying, it gives merit to the people who are saying, well, it's just like this one group. And who's next? Who are they going to bring in next? Gary Nolan? It's like, who else do you have that can actually show proof? Besides, because it looks like it was Christopher Mellon and Lue Elizondo. Because of them, we were able to get that New York Times article and everything else. And I'm also emphasizing, I think it is very important that both of these guys, all three of them, testify. I think it's very, very important that all three of them testify. I'm just saying, if they are the only ones that are testifying, then it kind of backs up what Lukatsky was talking about the other day when we covered it, of like, you're not going to really have anybody say anything. Nothing that really moves the needle. And it also makes you look at Jeremy Corbell and say, that this is it? This is what you're talking about? Like, this is, I feel like they do, but I hope they don't feel that just talking about it anymore in the open in front of Congress is like a big deal overall. It's just not. As I mentioned before, last year, getting that out in the public and talking about it was very important, but it's got to be the rip the Band-Aid off, let's do this thing for this hearing. And repeating myself once again, It's not a matter of like, no, you can't have these guys. They have no merit. They all have merit. Tim Gallaudet is about as decorated as you can get, and a great dude. And I want to hear what he has to say and what else he's allowed to say that he can bring forward. And having a former Rear Admiral talking about this stuff is very important. Having Lue under oath talking about all of the stuff that he worked on and other projects, very important. Christopher Mellon, the stuff that he worked on, very important. But if it ends with those three guys as far as witnesses go, then I don't think that they are going to get the results that they think that they're going to. And they're certainly not going to get the public opinion in the way that they need to. And I don't think it is a validation of all of these people. So we're going to have this hearing because this is going to be some holy shit moments. Just mentioning it and saying what it was. I mean, yes, okay, they're under oath. I get it. You got to have something bigger. You got to have something bigger. And I'm telling you, people are going to, and if we're watching live, people are going to be banging their heads on the table every time someone goes, well, I can't tell you that here. I can't tell you that here. They got to know that. Like the first time going into it, it wasn't about that. You're like, okay, even if we got a few of those, I have to tell you in the skiff, I have to tell you that. It's like, fine. This is a guy who's saying that this program exists. That's what this is all about. That's what it did. That's what it accomplished. Yeah, there are some people who got frustrated with the behind the skiff stuff. But it wasn't the intent of it. The intent was, look at these two decorated pilots. Look at this guy that was working here behind the scenes who just told us that not only was he working on UFO stuff, they found remains of non-human stuff and other things. And that's the thing you have to do. You have to investigate what David Grush was talking about. That's got to be the follow-up. That's got to be part 2 of the hearings. It is going to be a massive mistake if these three guys are the only witnesses. And I think that people are thinking that because we had 3 witnesses last time, right? Now, I don't know if these names were leaked. I don't know if these names were announced. But if you're going to announce names, these are 3 names you can announce because they're not going to back down and they are going to testify because they pretty much said that they wanted to. As I told you when Tim Gallaudet was on my show, I've never seen anybody answer fast enough. When I said, would you testify? Yes, I would. Lue Elizondo has been talking about it, that he would. Christopher Mellon talking about it. These are guys that they're not hiding from anybody. They're already out there talking about it all the time. So they're not in jeopardy of losing anything. So that means one of two things. One, that's all they could get because everybody else was scared and not wanting to say anything. So they said, we got to get somebody out here. We'll talk about we'll bring up the 3 guys that aren't afraid to talk and they'll talk about it and that'll be our hearing and we'll just go off of what they say. 2, they do have people who are scared, but they're going to testify, but they're not giving their names out because they don't want to be, they don't want any ramifications. But I wonder where you guys stand on this. Do you think that even if it was just Lue Elizondo, Christopher Mellon, and Tim Gallaudet, it's enough? Is it one of those comments that you guys write and you say, it depends on what's said? It depends on what's said. If the right thing is said, then maybe it's important and it'll be something. But do you understand my point where just having Mellon and Lue Elizondo again, these are 2 guys that have been, I'm not telling you, I happen to not believe it, but they've been accused of making it up, having their own agenda. Some people have called Lue, some people call Chris misinformation agents, and I don't feel that way, but they've been accused of it. So if those are the only 2 guys, and Tim Gallaudet, that you're going to get, I don't think it's the way to go. But I ask you guys, what do you think? Do you think this is the right way to go? Do you think it's the wrong way to go? Put your thoughts in there. Tell me. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere podcasts are found. If you want to be a member of the channel, sign up today, man. Or you can help out by getting one of our sponsors. And today's sponsor is Mint Mobile. You've heard about Mint Mobile. I'll tell you about them now. Here you go. With big wireless providers, what you see is never what you get. somewhere between the store and your first month's bill, the price you thought you were paying magically skyrockets. With Mint Mobile, you'll never have to worry about gotchas ever again. When Mint Mobile says $15 a month when you purchase a 3-month plan, they mean it. So I had been using the regular providers for a bit, and I'm not gonna lie, you hear about Mint Mobile all the time. I was like, how true is this? True, very true. It is straight up. They tell you the truth with how this thing works. You got to say bye-bye to your overpriced wireless plans, jaw-dropping monthly bills, and unexpected overages. Mint Mobile is here to rescue you with premium wireless plans starting at $15 a month. You use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all your existing contacts. To get this new customer offer and your new 3-month premium wireless plan, just $15 a month, you got to go to mintmobile.com/DTE. That's mintmobile.com/DTE. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/DTE. $45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Speed slower, above 40 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobile for details.